you ask me when is the first time I noticed Candice, Candice was a greeter, right? And I remember coming back from Atlanta because I got invited to a basketball opportunity, and I came back, man, and it was crazy because I never seen him before. So I ended up coming back in town, and I went to church. I debated about going to church, and then all of a sudden, something said, "Josh, just go to church." And I'm like, "Yo, I'm driving. I've been driving 4 to 6 hours. Can't remember how long to get back from Atlanta, and you want me to make it to church?" All right, so I submitted, and so I ended up going back there, and in one of the jobs that you do at the church as a young man is like you open the doors to people, you know, to make them feel welcome and different things like that. So I got on, so I got to church, and I was opening the door for people, and I opened the door. I remember opening the door for this young lady, and as the door was closing real slow, I noticed this light-skinned girl. I was like, "Yo, who is that?" And I ain't say that. In my head, I did. So I tried to follow the door, like so I can keep looking without opening the door. And I was like, I was hooked. I was hooked from there, man. And from that point on, man, I chased that girl. And the rest is history. We've been together. We 1 year into our marriage, and no kids yet, but we had a good time so far. So yeah, I told Candice that I loved her first. Now, I mean, I ain't gonna say that I'm not saying that I'm sensitive, but I'm going to say that I'm a little more sensitive than Candice is. The day that I told her I loved her, we went to the beach, had a wonderful time, got a little bit of sand between our toes, and we washed a little bit of sand that was in between our toes off, and we walked the beach, we collected some seashells and different things like that. We got something to eat. We enjoyed ourselves. That's when she had the little fro that you can pat the fro, and she had a little bit of blonde in there that she ended up eventually cutting out. But anyway, we had a really good conversation at the car before we left. I just told her how great it was to spend time with her, how much fun I was having. All the times, the whole time we've been together from at that point. And so we ended up driving back. And I remember before we went up to the beach, my mom said, you can always find out if you can be with a person, if you was to go on a road trip with them. And if you can maintain and survive the road trip, then you can love that person. And we had a wonderful road trip back, there and back. But when we got back in the town, before I dropped her off, we had a conversation, and I said, "Candice, I love you." And she was like, "Okay." And I was like, "Okay." She was like, "Yeah, okay." And can't remember what I said after that. I know that that's not the response that I was looking for, but nonetheless, I can say that the next few days was kind of awkward, and she still didn't say it until she was ready. She probably said it maybe like a week or two later, and but hey, she ended up saying it, and we here a year later into our marriage, and it's still going hard and still going strong. If you catch me when I fall. I knew I loved my wife the minute that I knew that I would give my life up for her. I remember, and I tell this story to people all the time, that we were on a highway. I can't remember where we was coming from, but we were on a highway, and she was driving in front of me, and I was in my car behind her, and there was an 18-wheeler kind of driving wavy, kind of wavy, like it was kept going from almost switching lanes and lane, and it came real close to hitting Candice. And so I said, if that happened again, then I'm gonna drive my car and become like and come between the two, because I would rather sacrifice my life before anything was to ever be or anything that would ever harm her. And once I had that mindset and I was driving, and once the truck went this way and we went this way, I was thinking to myself, wow, Josh, you were willing to give your life up for that girl, that young woman. And that meant more to me than anything. That was the first time that I said, wow, I am truly in love. And I think I found my helpmeet. And from that point on, everything that I do is for her. And I don't always make the best decisions, but I always try to make the right decisions for us. I try to always put ourselves in a position where you say, you know what, we're setting ourselves up for the marathon, not the sprint. And now that I've been a husband for a year, you know, a lot has transpired this year. A lot has transpired this year. We had our ups and our downs, but regardless of what has happened, I would still give my life up for that young lady, my wife. I will fight every day if I have to, just to make sure that I'm setting her up for success. That's all I ever want, is to make sure that she is good. She get on my last nerve, I tell you she do. But at the end of the day, I already know in my heart that it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be, you know, cupcakes and ice cream every day. Sometimes it's going to be Brussels sprouts. Man. Sometimes it's going to be vegetables that you don't like. But we have the meat that's going to sustain us and fulfill us for the rest of our days. And we have Jesus Christ, which is our entree, and He makes sure that we're balanced. We're balanced and we're being nourished in the right ways. He is making a way for us every day. And just as He gave His life up to the church, because the church is His bride, I would give my life up for Candice because she is my bride. And I will stick with that mindset to the day that He'd take me up. And I love her every day, and every day I'm going to show her. I would like to tell my wife that every day I wake up with the mindset that I want to do the Lord's will, and I want to make my wife happy. So I go out, I try to handle my business, I try to be the best man that I could possibly be every day. You're always on my heart, you're always on my mind, and you come first in my life outside of Jesus Christ, which gives me the ability to even love you. You know, at first it was kind of difficult to put in perspective how I still allow my mom to be mom and my wife to be my wife. But then it became easier with the understanding that if I do the Lord's will, and when I got married, it was a tie between, or it was a bond between the Lord, myself, and my wife. Kind of put a lot of things in perspective. And before I even got married, I understood that it was always going to be like a rift or like a little bit of divide between the wife and the mother. But you and my mom have definitely made it possible to be the man that I am today. I'm not where I want to be, and I know that's okay. And I know that's okay, because like I said earlier, it's a marathon. But as long as I keep running, every day to make sure that you're taken care of, to make sure that when you wake up, that a lot of things are in place for you to be successful, then I know that I'm on the right path. I know that I'm on the right path. And I would never stop running until I get you everything that you desire, or at least put you in a great situation so that you can prosper. I know your goals and I know your dreams. I know the things that make you happy and the things that make you sad. I know your passions and your dislikes. I know what makes you cry and I know what makes you smile. I know your favorite food is fruit snacks. I have no idea why, but you love fruit snacks. You love anything that is sweet except banana pudding. I know so much about you. And so I study you. I tell you all the time, I study you. Because you're my queen. You're my everything. And so I'm going to make sure that nothing changes about you. I want you to be the purest you that you can possibly be. And guess what? I will adapt to it. I will make sure that you're good. Because when you're mad, guess what? Even though I get on your nerves, I still make you laugh. When you're sad, I know how to put a smile on your face. You know, when you're upset, I know how to get you out that mood. And when you don't even want to hear me sometimes, guess what? I got a way to get you to hear me. You don't have to change. Just be you. And guess what? I will find a way to make it work anyway. And I mean, and that's my thing. That's my thing. When I wake up every day, man, it's like a new challenge. I thank God for waking me up. And I say, you know what? How am I going to make this day the best? How can I make this day the best? What authority do I need to use today to make sure that we're successful today? And Candice, every day, I wanted to be a success. And every day, I'm working towards being successful. As a man, as an entrepreneur, but most importantly, as a man of God. And second, importantly, as a husband to you. That's my dream. And you're helping me accomplish that dream. So I thank you every day. I love you. It's been 1 year. We got many more years to go. And I'm happy that it's with you. Love you. Hold it down. Okay, hold it down.